So I was watching this video on TYT Nation titled "Are Americans Stupid?" and the video was basically this litany of statistics of Americans believing things that are patently false or not believing things that are obviously true. Some of them were pretty compelling. Some of them were funny, like 6% of Americans believe Elvis is still alive, and some of them were troubling, like 40% of Americans think that the Earth is less than 10,000 years old. But I think they fall short of the question they aim to answer. With some of the figures, I just don't think stupidity is necessarily at play. For instance, when I see 1 in 5 Americans think that the president is Muslim, I'm more apt to think that that's wishful thinking than anything else. Moreover, I don't think it's a question that statistics can necessarily answer. Now, I actually don't think Americans are stupid. I really just think that the electorate is not thinking critically. That's a difference I'm not going to parse out in this video. I'll just take stupid for the time being. And I have to say, everyone sort of agrees that Americans are stupid, even though they don't say it. And I have 2 examples to show this. Now, I should note that the person who made this video is not an American, but he certainly has his domestic counterparts, like Bill Maher, who will say without hesitation that he lives in a stupid country. Now, a lot of Americans are upset when they hear this charge, and that's pretty understandable. No one likes to be called stupid. But in particular, the right wing does not appreciate this, and they'll call anyone who says this an elitist. And while it's pretty common for most everyone to enlist public opinion, conservatives do it more than anyone else. It's it's pretty much conservative dogma that we live in a center-right nation, and if you suggest otherwise, as some progressives do, you're met with laughter and dismissal. Again, conservatives view people who say this with scorn, and they'll charge people like Bill Maher with jealousy. He's just mad because most people don't agree with him. But this is all pretty ironic, because conservatives are far more likely to call Americans stupid than anyone else. Now, with the idea that we live in a center-right nation, there's sort of these expectations amongst conservatives that public opinion should always be with them. And when consensus does go their way, or when a Republican wins an election, they declared a victory for democracy. When public opinion goes against them, that's not democracy. Something's gone awry, and it needs to be reconciled. The right wing will never admit that they did anything wrong in the selling of their message, or that right-wing media did anything wrong. And they will never say that the public actually disagrees with them. That one is unthinkable. So whose fault is it the consensus turned against them? Well, it's the media's fault. They always blame the media. By the way, these are the people who lecture the rest of us about personal responsibility. See, along with the dogma that we live in a center-right nation is the narrative that the media is liberal, and the media is in the tank for the Democratic Party and the president and will help them to no end. But what exactly are they implying here? They're saying, basically, that people got tricked against their will. Now, bright people can be fooled, but again, this happens all the time. Whenever something doesn't go their way, they blame the media. But how are they not saying Americans are stupid? Think about it this way. If you're consistently buying the same faulty products from the same snake oil salesman, whose fault is that? It's your fault for being an idiot. It all goes back to that expression that George W. Bush botched. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But the thing is, conservatives are right in a way. Not about the liberal media per se, but on the fact that public opinion can be manipulated using unscrupulous attacks pretty easily. Fox News is evidence of this. Another argument that Americans are stupid, or not thinking critically, is the cognitive dissonance you see in the media and politicians when they're discussing the electorate. Now, you almost never hear either of these groups disparage the electorate. In fact, they'll usually say the opposite. How often will you hear a politician say, "If only our government was as good as our people"? These people will almost always pay lip service to the idea that voters are rational decision makers, while tacitly acknowledging the opposite. I could provide an unlimited number of examples of this, but I saw this principle at play finally articulated on MSNBC the other day. The panel was discussing Mitt Romney's strategy for taking down Obama on his foreign policy record, and then the question was posed whether or not this will work. And one of the contributors said, well, there are the merits, and then there are the politics. And by merits, he meant whether or not the president's policies were actually effective in achieving our international goals, and by politics, he meant the public perception and how well the Obama administration sold what they did. Now, this is just one example. This same discussion is had on any number of issues. But think about it this way. If our nation wasn't stupid, if we were exercising critical thinking skills, shouldn't the politics follow the merits? Why would there be a divorce between the two? But of course, we know that's not the case. The merits can be perfectly fine, but the politics can be completely off. And everyone knows that, whether they admit it or not.